And here we are live. Welcome to this live video where we will talk about how to tell if she wants to have sex with you. Then for those who are already connected, you can, if you have any questions, you can start typing your questions in the chat box and then you will be the first one to receive an answer later. But before we start, if you're new here, my name is Luca and I'm one of the world's leading experts about approaching girls in the daytime. Since 2018, I've helped over 1,200 men sleeping with new girls approached in the daytime. I started teaching it only in Italy in 2018 and then also internationally from 2022. So let's talk about how to tell if she wants to have sex with you. So there are ways to tell how open-minded a girl is, and I will be more specific. Actually, we're talking about how to understand if she wants to have sex with you in a date situation. Okay, because the ways, the questions that you can ask that will allow you to understand this are questions that you and are ways and tips, tricks, call it as you want, that you usually ask, that you usually do when you are on a date, not when you are in an initial conversation. You can also use it in an initial conversation, but I'm talking about things, tips, tricks, questions that you can ask or use during a date or during a date after you approached a girl from a live situation, during on an instant date if you approached the girl in the daytime and you invited directly for right away during the moment for a coffee or for a drink or for whatever it is. So there are ways to tell how open-minded a girl is, and I will call this skill in this video. I will call it the screening skill. Okay, so when we say screening, you know that I'm referring to this skill. So understanding how open-minded a girl is. So this doesn't mean that you have to look for the easy ones. Okay, this has to be very clear. But at the very least, eliminate the one with whom there is no hope. Usually because they have an experience or have exaggerated preconceptions like sex after marriage, or that you have to come to church with me first. I remember one girl, I think it was in 2017 or 18, I don't know, and that she told me, "Oh, that you have to come to the church with me first if you want to have a date with me." Okay, and I don't remember exactly how I answered. Probably I just stopped replying to this girl, and it doesn't make sense. Even if you go on a date with this kind of girl before having sex, you have to go through like 40 dates. You have to first marry this girl, and then maybe you will have sex. And how do you think sex will be with a girl that has zero experience? You can also understand, you can already understand in advance how what the quality of the sex will be from the kiss. Okay, but now this is not the video. And also you have to remember that it's bullshit, that it is a common belief that it takes time to know really well a person. Yeah, of course, with the time you will know a person better, but it doesn't take a lot of time to know a person really well. So it's bullshit that it takes time to get to know each other. Okay, it depends on how much hiding you do. Okay, so for example, if I don't know, there are couples that they are together since 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and they still don't know each other because they started hiding themselves since the first day. They have traits of the personality, they have some interest, they think some things that they never said because they were scared of showing themselves. Okay, so but if you start from the beginning having an unfiltered communication, you show authenticity, call it as you want, the girl, she will feel much more open with you, and you will she will trust you much more because you're showing authenticity. And also she will feel much more comfortable on having sex with you right away. It doesn't mean after 1 second, but it means after a few hours, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. If you approach a girl in a daytime situation, when I had the so-called quote unquote same delay, so when you're having sex directly on the same day after approaching a girl in the daytime, the fastest in my experience for me it was in 2 hours and a half or something like that. The slowest, always as the same delay, it was 5 hours from a daytime approach. Okay, if you're approaching at the club, it can be much faster, also 45 minutes, 1 hour and a half. If you are on a date, it will take maybe a few more hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. It depends. But if you make things properly, most part of cases you can have sex right away there on the first date, or also on the same day, if you are not censoring yourself. Let me check one thing. Okay, everything is working. Let me check 1 second the audio. Okay, perfect. So the screening skill is a necessary skill to have sex with many girls. So if your goal is to have sex with, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 10 girls per month, it doesn't have to be the goal of everyone. But if it's your goal to have sex, the average sexual partner that people have in a lifetime is of 7 sexual partner. So if you want, if you do things properly, you can also have sex with 7 girls in 1 month, in 1 year. Actually, in 1 year it's not a lot, but for most majority of people it's a lot. But if you want to start having the sexual life, the sex life of a king, the screening skill, it's pretty important, and also especially to avoid wasting time with girls who are too blocked. Okay. And for example, when I'm having the instant date from a daytime situation, for me, the first location of the instant date is a screening interview. If I don't like her, I leave. Now, in a moment, I will give you some questions, some ways, some topics that you can talk about to understand how open-minded she is. And also, before giving you these tips, really understand this. If you're just starting out, you need to gain experience first. So then you understand when it's best to cut back so you don't waste time. But you cannot apply this because you don't have this skill. You cannot use this skill when you are a beginner. Oh, this girl doesn't have much experience, so I will not go on a date with her. But you have zero experience. What the fuck are you talking about? Go on the fucking date, and you gain experience. So then you will understand for future girls if it's better to go on a date or not. Okay, but if you're a beginner, that's the only way to become expert. Okay, and not even expert, to become good with women. Okay, so if you are cutting out your experiences, you will never make experiences, and you will never be good with women. You will stay alone for the rest of your life, and all the other negative consequences that are actually the life of most part of men on planet Earth. So I will give you. Let me drink 1 second. So for those of you that are connected, if you have any questions, you can type in the chat box. So I will give you some questions, some topics, some ways to understand how open-minded she is. So you can ask her, for example, during the date, what is the craziest thing you've ever done? If she's telling you that the craziest thing was to copy the homework when she was in university, maybe you know that she's not very open-minded. If she's telling you that the craziest thing was, I don't know, to kiss 10 guys in a night at the club, you know that maybe she's a little bit more open-minded. Which actually we have to make a distinction between when you're looking for just sex or a fuck buddy, and when you're looking for a girlfriend. When you're looking for a girlfriend, you don't have to. If you want to have a happy relationship, you don't have to look for a girl that had many sexual partners. Okay, if you're looking for like just a fuck buddy for just a one night stand, that's perfect. Even if even if she has been with many guys, it doesn't matter. It's actually easier usually if you do things properly. So you can ask also, what is the craziest or the stupidest thing you've ever done by sober and by drunk? You can if it's a girl that she's traveling alone, usually it's a really positive signal in terms of open mind. Okay, so if she's a tourist in your country, or if you're traveling and she's a local there in that country, and but when you're talking about travels, she's telling you that she's traveling a lot, or maybe you're a tourist and she's a tourist, and she's telling you that she's traveling alone really often. That's a sign of open-mindedness. I don't know if it is the best word, but it doesn't matter. I think you understood. Also, if she travels a lot, usually people that are traveling more have a much more open mind. Also, if she's clubbing a lot, as I told you, you have to make distinction if you're looking for just a sex or if you're looking for a relationship. Okay, because these are not good sign when you're looking for a relationship. Also, you can. This is a very good question to ask on a date. If she have ever been on a nudist beach, okay, or if she would ever go on a nudist beach, so the beach where you can go naked, pretty much. And I remember I will give you a few examples because I asked these questions in the past in many dates, and I will just report you a few answers of a few girls. I remember one that I asked this thing. I told her like a specific place, and she told me, "Oh, what was the name? Can you tell me again the name because I can write it?" So she told me that she never been in a nudist beach, but she asked me the name so she can write it for the future. So, and in that specific moment, I understood, okay, if I don't fuck up the situation, I will have sex with this girl today. And that is exactly how what happened later. And then I had sex with this girl in 5 hours in total from a daytime situation. And I asked this question when we were moving from the first to the second location. I asked this question also to another girl. It was in 2019. Always when we were moving from the first to the second location, from a daytime situation, from a instant date. And she told me that she never been in a nudist beach, but that she would go there with me. Okay, so these I call sometimes I call these very positive signals, jackpot moments. Okay, because these are moments that will make you understand that if you don't fuck up the situation, you will have sex for sure with a girl on the same day. There are many other examples about this, but I will just give you these two examples. Also, if after 2 dates you don't kiss her and you've done everything properly, and you know that you've done everything properly because you had a bit of experience before, then you know that she doesn't have experience, because every girl, even if she doesn't have a lot of experience, you can kiss pretty much 99% of girls within the second date. Okay, so if you're not kissing her within the second date, or you don't have any experience, you're doing everything wrong. You remember, you can learn everything from the approach to sex in my program called From the Approach to the Bedroom. You can check the link in the description down below. So, but if you're not kissing her within the second date and you've done everything properly, I suggest you to just stop dating her, because she's just wasting your time, and she doesn't have experience. And but no, let's not go too much in detail with this. You can ask also during a date if she ever kissed a girl. So these are all questions that will make you understand how open-minded she is. Of course, you don't have to ask these things after 1 second or out of nowhere. Okay, when it's contextual in the conversation, so you have to develop skills in the conversation. Also, talking about relationships, past relationships, it's not a forbidden topic, as movies are teaching. Let me drink 1 second. It's a very important topic, because you will understand exactly how open-minded she is, and it's also a very important topic to I don't know how to say, to set a man-to-one communication is a trick, because you will set a man-to-one communication usually with non-verbal things, like, for example, eye contact, physical contact, so physical escalation, flirting, yes, it's verbal, and other things. And this is a very useful way to set a one-to-one communication. So talking about past relationships, one thing is if she only had a really long relationship of 10 years and she never had adventures. And another thing is it's a girl that she had, I don't know, 4 boyfriends in total, and she had also sometimes adventures. Another thing is, for example, a girl that she had, I don't know, 20 fuck buddies in her whole life, and she never had a serious relationship. Another thing, it's a girl that I don't know now, it doesn't come to my mind other examples, but for example, maybe if she's single for a long time and you see that she's comfortable with the situation and the physical contact, and she's comfortable with the conversation and the presence of a man, you know that, yeah, she has been single for a long time, but you see that she's very comfortable with you. So probably she had sex in the last years while being single. So because girls, they don't need to be in a relationship for having sex. So, but of course, you cannot ask. Usually, you have to introduce the topic gradually. I usually introduce the topic, for example, with the question that I told you before, asking, "Have you ever kissed a girl?" It's not a question that is too direct. Then I will keep going, asking, for example, of course, not after 1 second. After we talked a little bit, maybe she's asking me the question back. And at a certain moment, I can ask how many boyfriends you had in total in the past, or maybe when was the last time you had a boyfriend? Okay, and then you can ask always progressively, let's say, questions that are always more spicy. Okay, I don't know if this is the best word. Also, for example, if she tells you that she's not looking for a relationship right now, many people, they see this thing as a negative signal. But most part of the times, when they are saying that they're not looking for a relationship during that moment, it's because they are just interested in a non-serious relationship, in just having sex. But people, but usually guys, they will think, oh, she's not interested in dating. Especially if she's telling you this on a date, it doesn't mean that because she's there on a date with you, so she's interested in dating, just she's not interested in a relationship there in that moment. But if you start having sex, then eventually pretty much every girl, they will be interested in a relationship, because no, this is not the topic. I will just give you an example of a student years ago in a boot camp. It was in 2019, I think, and I still remember this example because he was on a date with a girl, and she was a tourist. She was staying. We were in Warsaw, in Poland, for this boot camp, and we were staying there for 7 days, and this specific girl, she was staying there for 2 days. Okay. And this is already actually enough for understanding that she came there on a date for having sex. She knows that he's leaving in a few days. She knows that she's leaving in a few days. Why the fuck do you think she's coming on a date? Just to play Uno, just to play card with you, just to have a nice conversation? Because she wants to be fucked. Okay. Also, as I remember in this example, she said at a certain moment, I don't know why the student, he was talking about Romeo and Juliet, I don't know why, and but she said that she's not a romantic type, and also she said that she's not interested in a relationship in that moment. Also, she came on a date when she was only staying 2 days in that city, and he was staying 7 days. She said that she doesn't want kids, which is a signal that will make you understand that she's more open to sex without commitment. Also, the student, he asked in the conversation what kind of guy does she likes, and she said something like, right now I'm not interested in a relationship. So she kept saying that I'm not interested in a relationship, but the student, he was pretty much a beginner back in 2019. Now he has a girlfriend since pretty much after that boot camp. And also this girl said that she likes to experiment different flavors in terms of alcohol, because the student asked something like, what is your favorite cocktail, or something like this, and she said that she likes to experiment with different flavors in terms of alcohol, so she likes variety. Also, she was a party girl. How many more signals do you need? Okay, girls, they're actually very obvious many times. Just men, they're stupid. They don't understand female psychology. They don't understand signals. They have zero experiences. They don't study like the dynamics between man and woman. Also, she said that she has had a lot of relationships in the past. She didn't mention if she was in serious relationships or non-serious relationships. You can, for example, if you want to ask if she had like adventures, you can ask, after asking how many serious relationships you had in the past, you can ask how many non-serious relationships you had, which is just an elegant way to ask if she have ever had adventures, fuck buddy relationships, or this kind of situations. So these are, I think I said too many tips and tricks about this. So if those of you that are connected want to ask something, this is the moment. So if you want to learn everything from the opening line to the bedroom with new girls approached in the daytime, click the link in the description below and join my From the Approach to the Bedroom program, which also includes my lifetime support. If you have any questions, you can schedule a free call by always using the link in the description. No questions. I've seen that last live videos I did, they went not viral, but they had a pretty good views for this small channel. So for those of you that will watch later, after the live video is over, you can type in the comment at what time do you prefer live videos, because I'm trying to understand in which time zone to focus for live videos. So I guess see you in the next video.